Thanks for tuning in to the Playbook Sports Horse Report on Prime Sports Network. John Hardoon joining me. No Mark Lawrence. He's off for the week. How's it going, John?
Good. How are you, Mark? I'm Mark. I'm Greg. Sorry.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, but we were just talking about Mark. But Mark will be back next week when we promote and preview and handicap, or whatever word you want to use, for the Belmont Stakes. So that's going to be a big weekend in Belmont. Is that it for Belmont next week?
No, they go to Saratoga in the middle of July, so they got time.
Okay, because I know that I was looking at the schedule, and it seemed like the schedule, I haven't looked at it in a few months, but it looked like the schedule kind of slows up after the Belmont.
Well, it does, because everyone's pointing towards Saratoga after that. It's the last big hurrah day. You know, they got the Belmont Stakes and a bunch of stake races. It's like a Breeders' Cup card. It's going to be a terrific.
Yeah, 8 Grade 1 stakes races.
Yeah, I mean, you know, those races are going to be better than the Belmont. And the Belmont will be a good betting race because there's no standout this year.
Yeah, and then looks like I have a big gap until the Haskell, which is July 17th.
Every Saturday, every day they have stake races at Saratoga. So
when does Saratoga? When does that start?
I think the second week of July.
Oh, so.
And they're open to the public, so that'll be interesting.
All right. Well, June might be slow, but even if we don't find any good stake races, we'll definitely find an opportunity to get on the air and talk, because you're going to be handicapping races, whether they're stakes races or not. And those are your favorite races to handicap.
That's correct.
All right. So we've got, now the reason why we decided to air this show on Saturday is because, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, that the schedule was going to be really awesome this weekend with Memorial Day weekend, and the big day was actually Memorial Day with the 3 Grade 1 stakes races, and we're going to do 2 of those at Santa Anita. The Shoemaker Mile, which is race 7, that's going to go off about 4 Eastern. 7 Eastern. Is that? Yeah, 7 Eastern. And then at, let's see, right around 7:30 Eastern is race 8, the Hollywood Gold Cup. So back-to-back Grade 1 stakes races. We'll start with the 7th, John. And last year, Next Shares, who's at 12-1, finished second in this race. But in that race, ran a 5. That was the best race of Next Shares' career. And the horse has not come close to duplicating that since.
Well, she's a different horse now than she was last year, that's for sure. She's not the same horse. So, you know, she's tailed off, obviously. She's lost a step, and other horses have gotten better. So I agree with you. She's not the same horse.
Yeah, and only 1 out of 12 anyway at Santa Anita. That's not what you're looking for. Okay, now the 2 is the heavy favorite, 4-5 shot. Now, I did not get the odds first, because they came in a little bit later than I went over the race. And I was, okay, yeah, I could see this was going to be one of 3 or 4 horses in the field that I liked, because last 3 races, 7, 8, 7 on the sheets. But I didn't expect 4-5. Is there a reason the horse is 4-5?
Yeah, there is a reason, actually, that the horse is 4-5, because out of the last 5 races, he's finished 3rd by a neck, 2nd by a neck, a win, 2nd by a head, and a win.
Yeah.
You know, this year he's had a pretty good year. Dating back to February, he's got 4 wins. He's never missed the board, basically. He's 6 out of 7. So running 1, 2, or 3. So that's why he's 4-5.
But obviously we can't bet this horse, not at 4-5.
No.
So let's try to find somebody to beat the horse. It's not going to be the 3. I don't think it is. Crossfire Hurricane, because we have no sheets on the 3.
Well, he's a European invader. He's never run here. It used to matter when they'd come here and go on Lasix for the first time, but that's not the case anymore. They're not getting Lasix, so there is no edge. You know, there used to be an edge when they had Lasix for the first time. A lot of European horses are bleeders, and the reason they would come to the States is because they got an opportunity to run on Lasix. So if you're trying to beat the 2, and again, he's certainly beatable. I mean, you know,
the 3 ain't going to do it.
No, the 3's not going to do it. A horse like the 6 or 7 may do it. They're a point away. And even the 4, who's the longest shot in the race, or one of the longest shots in the race, he showed signs of life last time in the San Francisco Mile. But that race was at Golden Gate Fields. If you're trying to beat this 2, I would probably try to beat him with the 7. He's getting first time Pratt on, or if Pratt climbs back aboard. He hasn't been on him the last 2 chances. He won his last race at Keeneland. The race before that, he ran second at Santa Anita against a horse named United, who will be the big favorite in today's race, stake race. So if I was trying to beat him, I guess I would beat him with the Phil D'Amato horse of Say the Word. He's 4-1.
Yeah, because if you look at the difference between, say, the other 2 runner-up odds-wise, which would be the 6 and the 7, 5-2 on the 6, 4-1 on the 7. The 6 has got 2 7s. The 7 has a 7 and an 8. So not much difference. Plus, the 7 in his 3 races this year has gone from a 10 to an 8 to a 7. So that's exactly what we want to see, trending in the right direction with the better odds.
No question about it.
All right, so the 7 is the horse we're targeting as the most likely, and let's hope we get 4-1.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the 8th race, and this is one of the bigger races, right, of this time of year for Santa Anita, the Hollywood Gold Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's a $300,000 race. It's a Grade 1 event. It certainly is.
I'm surprised that there's only 7 horses. And let's see, the odds are not very good in this race. You have 2 horses that don't really stand a chance, 20-1 and 30-1. So that means you basically have 5 horses, 5-2, 5-2, 2-1, 5-1, 5-1. So the odds are not going to stay the same, obviously, for all the horses. So let's start with the 1, Royal Ship at 5-2. Coming off a 6 at Santa Anita in a win with Mike Smith. So that's the best race of Royal Ship's career.
He certainly has a chance. He's a 5-year-old, and he's actually in pretty good shape. It was the first race that he's won outside of Europe last time out. So that's a positive sign. Maybe he's coming around, but the odds aren't good. No. I mean, I think you have better options at similar odds.
Country Grammar's also.
Like you said, by the way, you made a good point. There's no one that's really a big price in this race. So.
I know. Country Grammar's a 5-2 shot. This is a Baffert-Pratt combo coming off a 7. Also, best race of the horse's career, losing by a neck to Royal Ship.
Yeah, last time was first time for Baffert away from Chad Brown. Many people don't improve off of Chad Brown. But that being said, the horse is a 4-year-old, and he's allowed to improve and get better with each start, and nothing wrong with Baffert, obviously.
And Baffert can race in California, in Santa Anita.
Yes. They chase him away, they might as well lock the doors.
All right. So who do you like between the 1 and the 2?
Well, I lean towards the 1 slightly, but, it's not such an easy race. Horses like the 4 and 7 have a shot. The 4 is at least 5-1. The Sadler horse, Haywood's Beach, he showed signs last time out, and he won at this distance last time out. He's 1-for-1 at the distance. That's another question. The 1 has never been the distance. The 2 tried it once and finished off the board. The bottom horse tried it once, and he finished second.
Yeah, the 4, actually, if you look at the 4 has done much better racing on dirt. The horse doesn't do anything on turf.
Exactly, and that's why he's 5-1. They're under the impression that he's a turf horse. He's not a turf horse. He's not going back to the turf. The last 2 times they tried him on the dirt, he finished 3rd by beating a length, and he won last time out.
And he ran a 5 and a 7, where on the turf he was running 13s and 12s.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So he kiss his turf career goodbye. He'll be back on the grass. He'll be back on the dirt. Forget the grass.
And Rushy, the other 5-1 shot. And it's interesting because both horses ran a 5 in their second to previous race. Then Haywood's Beach went to a 7 and a win, while Rushy went from a 5 to a 10. But Rushy seems to, of course, have a little bit more experience on the dirt. Do you favor the experience, or do you say, no, I'm going to go with the fact that in only 2 dirt races, the 4 has got a 7 and a 5?
Yeah, why should I go for experience when I have, recency? Not only that, the 4's done it recently. Yep. This is all something new to him. The 5 is fine. He's 5-1. I think you want to try to bet against the favorites here.
The one and the two,
Yeah, I
or the
mean, I
seven.
know the
Yeah.
7 is 2-1, but I think he'll go off longer. I really do. But again, here's another problem. They're all coming off of LASIK, so who knows who's going to react to what. The one hasn't been on LASIK his last 2 starts, so that gives him a little bit of an edge. And the 2 didn't run on LASIK last time. That was something new for him. But the other 3 horses we were talking about have all run on LASIK.
Yeah. So, and then the 7, who was the favorite, 3 races this year. Actually, this has been the more consistent, better sheet horse over the last 2 years. 4, 3 6s.
Yeah, he's fine. There's nothing
But he's
wrong
2
with
to
him.
1. That's.
But you have to wait and see prices, really. Where you're nitpicking here, you're splitting hairs, and it really would depend on the price. If the 4 comes up and he's 7 or 8 to 1, I'll bet the 4 over those horses all day long. Even if he's 5 to 1, I would rather bet him.
Yeah, and I doubt the 4 is going to drop too much with all the other horses that are pretty short priced.
Exactly. Not only that, the 4 looks cheap. He's been in optional claiming races his last 2 races.
Yes.
So people are going to think, he's not good enough. They don't get it. The numbers don't lie.
So the 4 is definitely the way to go in race 8. And again,
it's Haywood's Beach for people that don't have, and they want to know the names.
And we kind of sided with the 7, did we? Yes.
Right.
And the 7th.
Over the 1 was better than the 1 and 2 because of price.
And since we went pretty quickly, I just wanted to say I was bummed out in the 9th that Stella Star scratched the 8. Because I really like that sheet line from Stella Star.
Yeah. Well, there's only one problem. She's not running, but I agree with you.
So keep an eye on Stella Star whenever Stella Star races again. We're not sure why that horse. The horse that I would probably look at here is the 9, Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva. Well, I don't know what that name is. I don't want to say shitta, but I just did. Bodhisattva. Yeah,
But it hasn't been for a while either. So I gave the slight edge to the 2, Carmine's Mia, but that's only
8 to 5. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I avoided it like the plague.
And the defending champ of the race is the 6, but that's 5 to 2. I think the other horse to keep, and 8 to 1 is Bodhisattva, who finished 2nd in this race last year, running a 9, which was one of the best races that Bodhisattva has ever run. And the 5 is a 12 to 1 shot. The sheets aren't very good, but the last time the 5 Red Lark ran at this distance were the best 2 races of the past couple of years. He ran a couple of 9s.
Correct.
So maybe the 5 and the 9 wouldn't be bad value plays in race 9.
No, but again, you got to see prices. It's kind of close. Whatever else comes with it.
All right. So again, next week, Mark's going to be back, and we are going to talk about. We'll probably
Friday night.
Friday night. Back to Friday night, and we're going to pick one other race besides the Belmont. We have a great number of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 Grade 1 races to choose from.
Great,
John.
Thanks. It's been a pleasure, my friend. I love doing this with you. Stay safe and be well. We'll talk soon.
Answer the phone.
I will.
All right.